Okay, wonderful class, wonderful class. All right, here's what we're gonna do. Okay, so one of the highlights that we worked on in class, we worked primarily on the G major and the E pentatonic, the modes, and how to work in each mode. Um, for you, Adrien, what you're going to do is you're going to utilize that method of recording yourself playing chord structures, and then you're gonna play the leads over those chord structures. What I played when we were playing together is I did the G major 7th, and I play the C major 7th, and then I went to an E minor 7th, and then I went into a D major, and then I went into the C major 7th. Okay, you could put a D7 in there if you want. So it would be right, and just play around with that. And we played with, okay, you were in your 4th mode, right? So we played the 3rd mode in there. All right, so the 3rd mode would have started on B, and the 4th mode would have started on C. All right, so the 3rd mode would have been something like that. You could have played that along with those chords, or you go into the C, which would have been that 4th mode. Right. Okay. So what you expressed is that you wanted to add some more flavor to those notes, and that's a good thing. Don't forget to work with something like a slide, so you could hear those sounds. Once you hear the sounds, let them sink in for a while. Play with the slide for a while, and then what you're going to get is overlap. Overlap is when that sound will stay in your head, and the way of playing will stay in your head. So as soon as you start to play, guess what? It's going to sound like what you were doing, because that's going to be fresh in your head. And so that kind of overlaps, right? And overlaps your present. So you start to play that way because you're used to it, right? And try and hold on to those thoughts and that feeling that you had when you used the slide. Okay, that's a big influence on your playing style. All right, and if you feel you forgot, just pick up the slide again and keep playing. All right, and when I say keep playing, again, use that method of playing that chord structure and recording yourself playing leads from that chord structure. All right. Okay, so there was that. The blues. Okay, the chords for the blues. It was the E7, and I hit the 3rd fret of the 6th string. So I'm hitting a couple of different strings from time to time, because I go with the feeling when each time that I play. So, but what you want to concentrate on is make sure you hit the E and the B, because that's part of the chord itself. Okay, so because you have your B there and you have your E there, all right, and the G sharp. So. All right. Now, the cool thing about this is I just mentioned that you're playing, you got your finger on the G sharp, you have your finger on the B, and you're hitting the E, right? So E, G sharp, and B, those are that's the 1, the 1st, the 3rd, and the 5th of that scale to make an E7 or an E dominant 7. But the cool thing about it is this: when I hit the G, there's a G sharp in the chord, right? So you would think I would hit the G sharp. But since this is a E pentatonic that we're working from, I can hit the G because the E pentatonic is in the G major scale. So it's pretty cool. I could do that. I could hit a G sharp if I wanted to, because I'm hitting that in the chord. So you have two possibilities. It gives it like a major kind of lighter kind of mood. It changes the mood a little bit, but when you go, all right, I can also, I think I started to hit the second fret in there, because again, you can put that, there's a natural minor there in that E as well. So that E is also synonymous with the E natural minor. So there's a lot of things you could do. I'm saying that because I put a C in there when I was playing the chords. I put a C major seventh, and I also played around with the A minor seventh in there. I snuck that in there. That's what made everything sound kind of different. But adding the G gives it more of a grittier sound. Even though it's an E7 or an E dominant 7, which would be taken from that E major chord, even though you have that, the mood changes. You can still dominate, and I'm using that word loosely in this regard, you can still dominate the mood of the song, and just kind of go beyond the theory that you would normally operate on. It's like that theory of, okay, it's an E major or it's E dominant 7, therefore you'd have to hit that as a G sharp. You don't have to do that. It's the mood that we're looking for, and this is an example of that. This would be a proper thing to do, but when you're playing that and you hit the G, it's the mood of that song, and it's the genre that we're working in. All things kind of go, but you have to know when to use them. Do a lot of different things with it. All right. We know that the A dominant 7 was there, right? A dominant 7, right? I freely go into the B7 there, but you got to play that a certain way because it's going to sound weird. All right. The way you would play that is just this way. You're going to hit the B, bar the second fret, of course, right? And you just do the same setup as you would for the A7. You just slide it down. These fingers will be on the 4th fret, and 4th fret, 4th string for the middle finger, 4th fret, 2nd string for the ring finger, and 5th fret, 1st string for the pinky, and you bar the entire 2nd fret with your pointer finger or the index finger. And you can go down a half step until you get to the A step. All right, so you're going to play some tension notes in there. The tension note being the B flat 7th, and then you get to the A7, right? And then you go back to. Now in your pentatonic, you have your tension there. Your A sharp there you can do and just do a brief walk through till you end up on that beat, and then you go back to. Now at the end you're going to go. Right? So at the end of each phrase, and then you go back into, right? So so we have that. All right, so the exercise that we're working on for that, as far as your leads were concerned, is you were droning your strings, but using the highest string to do that. All right, so the highest string would have been your guide. That would have been your E. You're going to do the E pentatonic starting from your third mode on your second string. You're going to do, right? Right? E, B, D, E, G, A, B. Right? B, D, E, G, A, B. That's all you're doing. Get familiar with that, because what this is a brief introduction to is kind of getting to play in another way when you're doing your solos. The exercise is this: when you use this droning technique, right, using the E as a guide, what you'll do is you'll play in different spots, and wherever you end up, you'll play in reverse according to the pentatonic mode that you find yourself in. Here's why I'm saying that: because if you look at the chart or you examine all the things that we've been doing as far as major scales, how the major scales have modes, and having modes in the major scale, you also have the modes in the pentatonic scale. You have modes in your natural minor scale, but it's the same thing as the G major, just starting in different spots. But the pentatonic is what we've been working on. So you have modes in those, and those modes are like blocks or portions or sections. They're like, but they make the shapes of like blocks, you know, on the fretboard of your guitar. So when you hit the right, right. So you could do, and just keep it simple. You don't have to do a bunch of crazy stuff. But what this is going to help you do is going to help to add another approach to your playing. All right. You'll be playing linear instead of just playing in blocks. Okay, I'm in this mode and I'm in that mode. You'll be able to play linear. So you'll be able to kind of literally feel the note. Right? So you'll be able to kind of, you know, really be able to play up and down the fretboard of your guitar. All right, so this is going to be a very helpful exercise for you. Okay, so we did those things, and we worked on that pattern with the right. We did that where it was A, B, and C. All right. The only problem, you did everything right. You just have to. I think you were just well. That's what was happening when you hit the pinky. We both know what happened there. So just work on that. It's going to be good. There's more to that, but this is just kind of an intro to kind of using walking bass line and playing a chord with it, you know, and doing everything at the same time. And then we did part of the Stevie Wonder song. You got it. So I don't need to really go through it. If you have any problems, just go to the last video that I made regarding that. Okay, but you've got that. You've got it. Work on the rhythm. Work on the tempo and work on the rhythm. Try to revert back to the Afro-Cuban or the Afro-Brazilian / Cuban progression that we did. And approach your song with that as well, the Stevie Wonder song. Anyway, I hope this is helpful for you, and just practice it. You know, you're coming along and it sounds really good, man. So just take your time with everything. All right, I will see you on Friday. God bless.